Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you are joining us from. It is Mayegun Live. Take your time and read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description of the broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends by sharing the broadcasts. Don't forget to like it too. But today, Facebook, you will need to understand why businesses are leaving Nigeria. And it is nothing, okay, to be happy about or celebrate, even though there are some other conspiracy theories springing up, and I'm going to share them with you tonight. It is not a good thing. You need to know why. Nigeria economy under the APC, Egbekegbe, has hit the rock, the bottom rock. However, there is something called the Tifnubunomic. That is the one that is to make everyone believe that it is not that bad, and it is worse. And everybody they collect. It is 25 years of demonstration of praise, democracy in Nigeria. That was 25 years ago. No, hang on. They are celebrating it on June 12th, just to mark the day. The day is for MK Abiola, and then the victims of democratic struggle in Nigeria. However, they did not celebrate the change of government on the 29th of May per se, but they are already organizing gala nights. They are organizing speeches. They are meeting themselves, telling themselves how far they have come and how far Nigeria have sunk. Anyway, so they are celebrating that tomorrow. And there are so many other things happening tomorrow, though. Today. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us this moment. It is Mayegun Live. So we are just going to get down to it straight up. The Guinness PLC has now joined the list of businesses that are divesting their investments, selling them off as much as they can, and leaving Nigeria. In the process, they are taking with them already dwindling, tax revenue, so to say. But it is happening. Initially, right, a lot of the Abobakus, the voluntary slaves, they said these companies leaving Nigeria, they were leaving because they couldn't compete. If ShopRite says they are leaving Nigeria, there is Alhaji Aminu kiosk that will replace them. If Emzo what do you call those people again? DSK, I don't know, GSK rather, or some of these medical manufacturing companies, sort of medical supply manufacturing companies, those who are producing, medical supplies in Nigeria. When they pack up and, left, it was because they couldn't compete. There is a Sisi or Sikira Alagbo. Our forefathers were usually drinking Agbo. Now that the price of medication have now skyrocketed, a lot of them are now skipping their medication. They have to choose between eating or paying for their own medication. Everything is catching up to so, right? But the latest is Guinness, and they have been at it for a while. Under Bukwari, they started experiencing the decline. I mean, they said they would reduce your purchasing power. They have done that already. Hyperinflation has reduced your purchasing power. Many people have become more or less like just numbers. The population of Nigeria is no longer profitable, no thanks to these rogues. Usually there's no way, there's no amount of economic downturn in Nigeria history. People will still drink. In fact, there was a time that they were using the profits made by the Guinness, the Nigerian breweries, and the rest of them generally. They were using their profits to gauge Nigeria economy. They said if Nigerians were poor, how come they were drinking this much? How come these alcohol businesses are making so much profits? In Kaduna State, Nigeria Brewery is their highest taxpayer ever. Yes, and the money is from alcohol. Yeah, Kaduna. So they used to use that, right, to gauge Nigeria economy and say, well, there's no amount of people go still drink. We don't even know where they see money to drink. But guess what? You can brag about this number of Nigeria population. Now, more Nigerians have become so poor that they cannot afford basic things, basic needs. And that is evidence. If you go out there, go to the major markets, go to the markets there, ask the traders, those who are first, who are actually like doing daily businesses, ask them about patronage. So they reduce your purchasing power. And the Nigerian brewery, they have been taking a decline. They used to declare profits of 200 billion naira. Who they drink in this economy? But under Bukwari, it started declining and declining. So as at year ending, financial year ending, March 2023, they declared the profit of 5.1 or so billion. Around that time, they have already started selling in parts some of the subsidiaries of their business there. They have already started, instead of expansion, they have started cutting down. And so this year, March 2024, they declared for the first time in their own history, over 61 billion loss for their stakeholders. So the stakeholders of Nigerian breweries, the Guinness in particular, they probably will receive zero return on their investment this time around. And it has been declining that way. Even their own shares in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, right? It has been declining. It was one of the top ones. Like if you are looking for where to put your money in Nigeria, like those who love shares investment, just go invest in the Nigerian breweries, NB, and then go to bed. The more you put there, the more you are likely going to have in return. That hasn't been the case in the last 8 years. It has been declining and declining. However, they found a buyer. Okay, finally they found a buyer. Like, you know what? Are you willing to buy the franchise? Are you willing to buy the right to produce Guinness for Nigerians? We are going back. We can no longer continue. They have to deal with multiple taxations. Okay, the cost of production has skyrocketed. Okay, they have to provide their own electricity, water, security. In this insecure Nigeria, they are counting their losses too. Many of their business associates have lost their businesses because ISBA in Kano and in northern Nigeria, they continue to destroy more and more businesses, especially under Bukwari. It actually became more. All of these effects, right? They just kind of they are counting their losses and say, you know what? We can transfer all our shareholders to a new buyer who can just pay us. They did not tell us how much they sold their 58.6% shares, which is their own stake, to say, Nigeria, bye-bye, oh. Anybody who is ready to produce Guinness for Nigerians, take. You have the right. Oh yeah, you have the factory too. You have everything. Go and be producing the Guinness for Nigerians. We know they do again. And that has now popped up another theory. And I'm putting this before all of you, because I don't know who knows more than myself that is also watching and can help us. Even though businesses are leaving Nigeria, I'm talking about businesses that have been in Nigeria for donkey years, and they have kind of been part of the lives of Nigerians, so to say. I'm talking about because of the products they offer, from food product, from baby food to baby products to women product to other food, like general product, like food production generally. So even to the production of medical supplies and all that could have prompted cheaper, if the production, let's say, for example, if Nigeria had progressed in the last 10 years, that the issue of electricity is not an issue anymore. The issue of fuel subsidy scam is no longer anything anymore, right? And these businesses are able to produce all of their stocks in Nigeria, retain all their staff, even aspire to expand when they make more money. That means more jobs for Nigerians and more money for government through taxes. But they were never protected, and therefore they are now telling us now that in case if we are not paying attention to, these guys know what they are doing. They are seeing all of this, and they are seeing the effect of all of this on the people. It is part of a grand plan and grand scheme. And when we are talking about grand scheme, it's like when you want to capture the people or capture a country. So when you have to do so militarily, you have to do so economically, okay? And finally, you have to do so religiously. If you take a look at what is playing out in Nigeria, there are businesses that are being targeted, even who are the businesses that are local businesses. They are being targeted, they are being destroyed. Some are being destroyed physically. Some are currently experiencing aggressive takeover. Apart from all this inflation, taxes, corruption, and all of that, businesses have always been existing in Nigeria, trying to survive. Well, they have been surviving. But you see, this set of Tifnubu and his gang, they are different. They have their eyes on choice businesses. They have their eyes on choice lands. They have their eyes on choice properties all over Nigeria. And they will take them over aggressively, that these businesses, these properties, whether they are local or they are foreign, the aggressive takeover has the collaboration of the judiciary, the collaboration of the military, the collaboration of the Nigerian police. Now, an ordinary soldier or an ordinary policeman may probably think I'm speaking I'm speaking Greek. You see, this is more or less like a conspiracy, a theory that is, I don't want to dismiss it. There are businesses currently, as you are watching this video, there are businesses in Nigeria that will still live. It is not just because of this inflation, exchange rates, and all of that. There are some underhand aggressive plan to take them over, including banks, by Tifnubu and his gang. Some of these businesses will be chased out, and as they are moving, the Lebanese, the Indians, and all these partners of Tifnubu, they will take them over as scraps. And if they are to serve you in the long run, well, maybe you can say there is a good thing about that, but there is not. They are killing businesses, forcing them to leave in order to replace them with scraps. Yeah, it sounds somehow, right? Well, a new company is going to be producing Guinness in Nigeria. Not real the Guinness, right? Oh, they will give them the ingredients of the Guinness. And don't you already have the one you say, this one is Nigeria Guinness, this one is imported Guinness, and all of that, Abby? And likewise, so many of your drinks, Abby? So you would have to kind of get to deal with the, I know, right? However, the criminals in Nigeria, okay, and their style of a state capture, okay, it's not like it's going to be a smooth sail per se, but they will do it because those of you who were told that he built Lagos, that's slum, right? This is how you are going to find out. You see, there are businesses in Nigeria that even if there's a political gang up of taking them over or chasing them out, without caring for the economic impact on the people, not because they are creating alternative. There is no alternative. But they are telling the people they shouldn't worry. If they want to go, they should go. But the point that does sound like a conspiracy theory. I don't know. I kind of have a feeling that it is real. You know why? This afternoon, when the news of the negotiation between Guinness and they have Guinness and their partner that came to buy, they call them the Tolaram, okay? So this Tolaram, we have no real idea of the people behind Tolaram. I know that in the next few days, if we choose to dig, we'll likely find out where the money that Tolaram is using to buy Guinness, as Guinness liquidates their assets in Nigeria and pack and leave. You can possibly trace the money back to the same Tifnumbus and his gang. And that is why I said, if you see businesses that are living, yes, they are all saying the Nigerian business climate is no longer conducive. But there are actually other things where these businesses are facing aggressive takeover from Tifnumbu and his partners. They will sell whatever that is sellable, the government properties, as scraps. Then they will chase down some of the businesses that they probably would love to own in this time, rather than look into their policies, the policies that are making all these businesses, all these investors and investments to pack up and leave Nigeria. Instead of looking into that, they are so deaf to that, blind to that, and they are ready to buy them as scraps for God knows what, to use the government money to run them. I don't know. For the Nigerian workers who are waiting for their own president, they are your president. I mean, those of you who are waiting for, listen, Mayegun, let's leave that for now. You're talking about the workers that are losing their jobs and all that, right? Great. But now, you see, let's talk about what is really going to happen now that Tinubu and his guys are offering the workers 62,000 naira in the inflated, hyperinflated economy of Nigeria. Well, they said the president of NLC is attending a conference in Geneva, Switzerland. Now, he's in Switzerland, and if they should say they should, I mean, mind you, the deadline for the 1 week relaxation of the strike ended last night. Bajero is in Switzerland. Now, if they should go ahead and begin the strike, that means Ajero and others, they will be stuck in Switzerland. So do you see the double standard now? Now, the moment his own plane is in, maybe they will now begin the noise of, we no go gree, we no go gree, kind of. Anyway, I just thought I should mention that. I'm talking about workers again. Listen, there is this guy, the guy on your screen. Even though they still call him ambassador, but I call him a sex offender, a pedophile. His name is Ibrahim Lamua. Ibrahim Lamua is, you know, a permanent secretary in Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, Lamua has been accused of sexual assault of 4 women who have come forward. However, sexual harassment in Nigeria, public service, even private sector, is barely spoken about. The reason is because the perpetrators are those who sort of have some leverage over, they usually do that to those below them. And there's always a threat. Nobody will believe you. Because the moment an accusation is made, the next thing that will come up is to begin to victim shame the victims by, like, oh, you are trying to bring down an honest man. Are you the only person in this place? Something that other women are even begging to, they are even begging for his attention. He is giving you attention and you are calling that harassment. And kind of like that makes a lot of women not to come forward. And also this embarrassment of coming forward has made men, many, you know, are men, never to come forward to also file the complaint of a sexual harassment. It is interesting that in the midst of all the madness going on in Nigeria, there is still actually those who will stand up and stand firm, you know, ignoring that culture of, you know, you don't see, you don't tell. Don't say, don't tell, or don't talk, don't, whatever. Kind of that the entire Ministry of Foreign Affairs, including the minister, they have actually made it public that indeed Lamua is a sex predator, a sexual predator, is the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. There is no record that he's been arrested. But as usual, I saw the workers singing their solidarity song. Let's go there.